Hi everyone, it's Ray here from Man City Fan TV. A couple of days ago I visited Etihad Stadium. I was at the City store to pick up my commemorative Citizen shirt. It's a very nice shirt and I'm sure you'll see me wear that in quite a few videos over the summer. Whilst I was there I got chatting to quite a few overseas fans and I asked them questions like how they felt City had done this season, who their favourite players were, and discuss transfer targets.
Evelien and Anneleen.
Okay, and they're here at the City store today, just obviously you can see,
Yes.
buying kit, looks fantastic. Just want to ask you, who is your favourite player?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne, oh what a surprise!
Yeah.
And yours?
And company.
On company, well, yeah,
The
what a
two
surprise
players from
again.
Belgium.
Yeah. Is that the only reason, or is it just because they're great players?
Because they are great players. And from Belgium.
My name is Adrián Martínez Bajas. I'm from Spain, Barcelona, and I visit the Manchester City because it's the very important club. And my favorite player is Kun Aguero.
Kun Aguero, fantastic.
Kun Aguero, yeah, he's a very good player. For me, he's a leader, no, the leader in this team, and he's a killer.
Here we go. Hi, it's Ray here at Man City Fan TV. I'm still at the Etihad Stadium outside the club shop, and I'm here with three, I can say, lifelong Blues,
Yep.
big fans. Just want to start by asking you, did you watch the cup final yesterday, or didn't you bother?
We watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, was it worth it?
Yeah, yeah, because Chelsea won.
I only seen when the goal went in, and then I went out.
Way to play it. Just wondering what you think about the season. It was obviously a fantastic season, 100 points, more than 100 goals, records upon records. Is it something you'd ever, especially the older ones amongst us, would have ever seen or even dreamt of 20 years ago?
Never expected it.
Yeah.
Never expected it whatsoever.
Always expect the unexpected.
With City, typical
Yep.
City. Okay. Well, we've been linked with quite a few players, as City always are these days, for transfer targets. Is there anybody you particularly wish would come to City, or any specific positions that you think we need to get somebody?
Lionel Messi, that's all we need.
No, probably Paul Lake and Colin Bell back.
Before I begin this transfer update, I'd like to pass on all our thoughts to the people who suffered at the Manchester Arena tragedy a year ago. I'm going to start by talking not about player, but about coach at Man City, Mikel Arteta. Now, if you remember from the update I gave last week, David Ornstein, a very well-respected journalist from the BBC, well in the know, everything to do with Arsenal, he suggested that the manager's position at Arsenal was Arteta's if he wanted it. I don't know exactly what's happened over the last few days, but it would seem that Unai Emery from PSG is now going to take over, according to David Ornstein. I'm not sure whether Arteta has been pushed away, or whether actually, and I think this is possibly more likely, he's had a change of heart and he's decided to turn the job down. Moving on to the players, if you remember, I gave an update last week talking about what Pep had said in the media interviews, such as Monday Night Football with Gary Neville, and Pep had said we're looking really at one or two transfer targets in midfield and as a striker. And our very eloquent chairman, Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, a couple of days ago, said something very similar. He said we're not looking at 6 or 7 transfers in the summer. We're really looking at just 1 or 2 top quality players to improve the squad. Now, the first of those targets that I want to mention is Riyad Mahrez. Now, if you remember, back in January, City were in for Riyad Mahrez, and we were looking to pay about £60 million to sign him. Leicester wanted a quite ridiculous £95 million, and the deal never happened. Now, it looks like, according to the press reports, we're back in for him, and it's at this transfer saga is at a late stage, and City look like they're going to sign him for around £60 million. I think that would be a fantastic signing. He's been involved with, I think it's 22 Premier League goals this season, scoring and assists, and that's with missing a few games because of his strike for I think 3 or 4 games when the transfer deal with City didn't go through. We all remember his fantastic season, superb season when Leicester won the league title. I think he'd be a great addition to the squad, fighting with Raheem Sterling for the right wing berth. I think Bernardo, who's played a lot at the right wing as well, I can see him moving more centrally. But it'd be great to have pressure on Raheem, even though he's had a fantastic season. The pressure may be able to push him forward and bag even more goals and more assists next season. And the second player I'd like to mention is Jorginho. A very tough word to say, Jorginho. I was chatting with a Napoli fan at the Etihad Stadium at the weekend about Jorginho, trying to get his name right. And this Napoli fan, he said, we're very sorry to see him go. He's a very strong player for them, but he can see why he'd leave, why he'd come to City. Better team, strong league, obviously money will talk as well, and I think he'd be a great addition, Jorginho, to the City squad as support for Fernandinho. Even though Fernandinho had a great season last season, he's 33 years old. He needs some time to recover as well, to have a rest at times in the season, and obviously he'll suffer from suspensions, maybe injury, loss of form or whatever. So to have another player who, a great defensive midfielder, scores a few goals and a few assists, is fantastic. Now we're talking about 50 million, that's what City want to pay. Napoli wants somewhere near 70 million. There may be a make-weight in the deal in Zinchenko going to Napoli as well. But I think it'd be a great addition to the squad. Please, if you've got any ideas on transfer targets for City, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe and follow, hit the bell for notifications too.